What have I been saying since COVID? Once the Democrats learn that they can declare a state of emergency to do whatever they want, they'll declare state of emergencies to do whatever they want, and every time they don't get their way. And here you go. This guy right here. The Democratic governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, just declared a state of emergency. Why? Not for a hurricane or some other natural disaster catastrophe, but because the state legislature is expected to pass a veto-proof bill in favor of school choice. State of emergency for him. You know, this is the one where parents, if they're not happy with the quality of education their children are receiving, can take the amount of money allocated for each child and use it as a voucher to put your child in a different school, one of your choosing. Specifically, in this bill, SB 406 would give $5,600 per student per year as a voucher to follow their child wherever the parent chooses or not chooses to educate them. Even though North Carolina actually allocates $11,000 per child on each public school entrance. So what's the emergency? You're probably asking the same question I am. There isn't one. And the government said in a statement, he said, I'm declaring the state of emergency because you need to know what's happening. There's like press releases for that stuff, pal. But no, couldn't do that. And the reason why he did this is equally as important as the fact that he is blatantly disregarding the law. Listen to this. He said in a statement, if you care about public schools in North Carolina, it's time to take immediate action and tell them to stop the damage that will set back our schools for a generation. Okay, let's dissect that a little bit. You did hear that right. It's not actually about your kids, which is ironically why this bill was passed in the first place, but people want out of the public school system because the system, like the governor said, is more concerned about perpetuating the system over helping students. This governor, made the point for school choice in his own statement. Look, I'm not talking about teachers, so don't jump down my throat about stuff like that. I'm talking about the administrators, the rubber room people who sit there, unelected bureaucrats and unions that back people like Governor Roy Cooper. This statement is super important because it is the exact reason people want school choice. Because the system values itself, and any threat to it, i.e. a parent who wants to put their child in better education or take control over it, is bad. And the Democrat puppets elected by the system will literally declare a state of emergency to hold on to that power over your kids. Their education be damned. Maybe, though, and I'm throwing this out there, just maybe, the answer is not to force parents to keep their kids in crummy public school districts. Maybe those public school districts should actually act like they work for the taxpayer and listen to parents when it comes to their preferences about their kids. Crazy concept, I know, right? The libs never do this, and this is why school choice is so bad for the system. Because parents, they can just take their kids out and enroll them in private school. Democrats will never understand this, but this is what you call a free market system. It's competition. They don't like that. But if this is how Democrats want to play the game, okay, great. I say it all the time, folks, and I'm getting really tired of saying it. Make the Democrats play by their own rules. Have every Republican governor, in response to this, declare a state of emergency mandating school choice. Hey, look, can't have the system, governing over your kids. Those are the rules, right? They wrote them. Let's play by them. When they want to come back to Robert's Rules of Order and, the law, by all means, we'll be sitting at the table waiting. This is super simple. The 102 Republican lawmakers elected, obviously, they care more about the kids than the Democrats in North Carolina. I can't be any more clear about this. This applies everywhere, too, not just North Carolina. If you have kids, why would you hand over almost unilateral power to a system that is only interested in itself rather than your children? The proponents of school choice, we're not fringe people. Look, I'm for school choice. My tax money should go where I want it to. My kids, I want them educated properly. We're not fringe. We just care more about the kids and a parent's role in the education and the system. That alone should let every single parent vote Republican all across America.